Every weapon in history has a limit. A bullet eventually loses its kinetic energy, a cannon runs out of shells, and a rocket burns through its fuel. But there is a weapon that grows stronger with every hit. It uses the enemy as an incubator, turning every victim into a new source of attack. It is the only type of weaponry capable of self-replication without human intervention. In this video, we'll break down how a simple blanket became a weapon of mass destruction, why the Japanese scientists of Unit 731 were more terrifying than the atomic bomb, and how modern biotechnology has made the line between medicine and warfare almost invisible. We will trace the path of the invisible executioner that has haunted humanity from antiquity to 2026, Phase 1. The era of intuition. In ancient times, people didn't know bacteria existed, but they perfectly understood the concepts of decay and contagion. The first biological weapons were dirty in the most literal sense of the word. Back in the 4th century BCE, Scythian archers invented a way to guarantee a kill. They mixed snake venom with putrid blood and human waste. This concoction was a breeding ground for tetanus and gangrene bacteria. The Scythians didn't need to kill the enemy on the spot. A mere scratch was enough. Within days, a warrior would die of sepsis in agonizing pain. This was the first instance of humans weaponizing the microscopic world. Centuries passed, and the scale grew. In the Middle Ages, biological warfare became a tool of siegecraft. The year is 1346. The city is Kaffa, modern-day Theodosia. The Mongol Golden Horde, led by Johnny Beg, is laying siege to the city, but plague breaks out in their own camp. Instead of simply retreating, Johnny Beg makes a strategic decision. Using massive catapults, trebuchets, they begin hurling the bodies of soldiers who died from the disease over the fortress walls. This was the first mass biological bombardment in history. Fast forward another 300 years. 1763, North America. British forces are facing a Native American uprising. Here, biological weaponry takes the form of humanitarian aid. Lord Amherst, commander of the British forces, orders that blankets from hospitals treating smallpox patients be given to tribal chiefs. It was a cold calculation. The smallpox virus is incredibly resilient. It can live on fabric for months. The Native Americans had no immunity. While British soldiers remained safe, entire tribes were wiped out in a matter of weeks. A blanket, a common household item, became a delivery system for a virus that worked more effectively than any artillery of that era. Phase 2. World War I and Logistics Sabotage. With the dawn of the 20th century, biological warfare moved from the realm of accidental epidemics to the realm of precise scientific calculation. The discoveries of Pasteur and Koch made it possible to identify specific pathogens, which meant they could now be mass-produced. During World War I, Germany banked on biological sabotage. However, their targets weren't the soldiers in the trenches, but rather the logistics. In an era where artillery and supply lines relied heavily on horsepower, wiping out animals meant paralyzing the army. German agents in the US and Argentina infected livestock, destined for the Allied front lines, with glanders and anthrax bacteria. This was the first systematic attempt to use bioagents to undermine the enemy's economy and mobility. The world was so horrified by the prospects of this invisible warfare that the Geneva Protocol was signed in 1925, banning the use of biological weapons. However, it did not ban their development. Phase 3, Unit 731, the assembly line of horror. The darkest chapter in the evolution of biological warfare was written not in Europe, but in Manchuria. The Empire of Japan established Unit 731, a clandestine research and development complex where bacteria were forged into munitions. Why did the Japanese High Command consider this project more terrifying than the atomic bomb? The answer lies in cost and scale. An atomic bomb destroys infrastructure, buildings, ports, factories. Biological weapons leave resources intact, eliminating only the people. The head of the unit, Shiro Ishii, built a factory capable of producing tons of plague, cholera, and anthrax bacteria every month. The Japanese developed specialized ceramic bombs known as Uji bombs. Unlike metal casings, these would shatter at low altitudes without generating excessive heat, allowing the disease carriers, such as infected fleas, to survive the detonation. During field tests in China, Japanese aircraft sprayed these pathogens over residential neighborhoods, but the worst occurred inside the laboratories. To understand how a disease ravages the body, human subjects were infected with gangrene and other pathogens, followed by vivisections, dissections performed on living subjects without anesthesia, to document organ changes in real time. This wasn't just warfare, it was an assembly line dedicated to studying the most efficient way to turn the human body into ash. By the end of World War II, Unit 731 had stockpiled enough biomaterial to wipe out the entire population of the Earth several times over. Phase 4, the Cold War, industrial scale. After 1945, the findings of Japanese scientists and German research fell into the hands of the US and the USSR. Biological weaponry became a core component of the Mutually Assured Destruction (MAD) doctrine. The Soviet Union built the most powerful system in history, biopreparat. This was a network of over 50 secret facilities disguised as civilian institutes. Tens of thousands of scientists worked in these plants, developing weaponized strains of anthrax, tularemia, and smallpox. The primary technical goal was to engineer bacteria resistant to all known antibiotics. The world learned the true cost of these developments in 1979. In the city of Sverdlovsk, now Yekaterinburg, an anthrax spore leak occurred at the secret Sverdlovsk 19 lab due to an improperly installed ventilation filter. The plume drifted through residential neighborhoods. Officially, the authorities blamed tainted meat, but people were dying from the pulmonary inhalation form of the disease, direct proof of the existence of a biological aerosol. This incident highlighted the ultimate flaw of bioweapons. They are impossible to fully control. A leak in one location could trigger a global apocalypse. Phase 5, genetic scissors and digital viruses. 2016 to 2026. Today, the evolution of weaponry has moved from battlefields and factories into the digital realm. With the emergence of CRISPR technology, the so-called genetic scissors, the line between medicine and weaponization has effectively vanished. The same tools scientists use to treat cancer or genetic diseases can be repurposed to engineer the perfect pathogen. In 2016, biological threats were officially categorized as next-generation warfare risks. Today, a virus doesn't need to be smuggled across a border in a vial. Its genetic code can be sent as a simple email attachment. Laboratories equipped with DNA synthesizers can now build a virus from scratch just by downloading its sequence. But the most alarming frontier today is the development of ethnically targeted weaponry. Theoretically, gene editing allows for the creation of a virus that attacks only individuals with specific genetic markers, such as eye color, skin tone, or other hereditary traits. This transforms biological warfare into a tool for selective genocide, where the bullet is replaced by a microscopic code that distinguishes between friend and foe. The evolution of weaponry has come a long way, from the first wooden club to the programming of living matter. Today, the primary battlefield is our own immune system. Biological warfare remains the poor man's atomic bomb. It's cheap, difficult to track, and its consequences can last for decades. The only question is whether humanity can keep this genetic safety engaged, or if the next evolution of weaponry will be the last one in our history. Which era or type of weaponry shocked you the most? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next episodes, where we'll dive even deeper into the evolution of military technology. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.